fire that would ascend the greatest heaven of invention, a kingdom for a stage, princes to act and monarchs to behold. The swelling scenes there would warlike Harry, like himself, assume the port of Mars. And at his heels, leashed in like hounds, would famine, sword, and fire crouch for their employment. Oh, but pardon, gentles all, that this flat, unraised spirit dare on this unworthy scaffold bring forth so great an object. Think, if I speak of horses, that you see them, printing their proud hoofs in the receiving earth. For now, 'tis your thoughts that must deck our kings, carry them here and there, traveling over time, turning the accomplishments of many years into an hourglass. I chose that to start with because imagination is where it all starts. What words did we hear tonight? We heard passion, transcendence, collaboration, sustainability, sustenance. Oh, wow, what beautiful words. What do those words really mean? Well, we saw the body of the words in physical form, but there's another part that happened before that, and that's the imagination. That's why I chose the prologue to Henry V, because it's about your imagination. So when you go into a theater, when you hear a story, when you watch a magician, your imagination is at work. So you do a reader's theater and you say the same script to 100, 200 people, and someone raises their hand and says, you know what's really amazing after hearing everybody in the talk back? It's amazing that we all heard the same story, but we all saw something different in our mind's eye. And that's what we're about, a spiritual being that perceives things differently, though we see the same thing. That's why I think Einstein had something when he said, without the thoughts and ideas of others, anything we think of is at best paltry, because we share. And what do we do at sharing? We tell stories. So ever since I was a little kid, I remember going home and saying, Mom, you know what happened at school today? Again? What happened? But it's a story. And then as kids, we all did that. We all went in the backyard and got our friends and played games to act out our roles. And what happened here today? What we saw was the culmination of ideas from so many talented people, inventing new things with one idea. But where did that idea come from? So if we're spiritual beings, we're connected to some force that gives us a feeling. And the feeling is why I fell in love with theater as a little kid and kept doing it through my life, even though I went to school and did other things, and we all do other things. And we always find the time to fit in what we love, because love is the fabric of our life. If you can hold love in your heart, you hold everything at ease. So we tell stories because we love to share who we are as human beings. Because that's what our role is. Beavers do dams. Dogs are loyal. And caddies, they tell us, you're perfect, I love you, now feed me. But it's us that do it with each other. Because even before the handshake comes the vibration. Oh, I like this. I like that person. This feels good in here. Before the painting comes a feeling. A brush comes. So you look at the painting and you say to yourself, my, that's beautiful. Well, the minute you started talking, you've created that feeling into a term paper. We're most impressed when the audience leaves and says nothing. And if you look at the full moon, something happens to you. You know that you're not connected to your mind at all. You're not connected to anything but your spirit, because awe takes over. And you can't put it in words, because the minute you do, again, it becomes a term paper. So we are feeling beings, and we are feeling something that makes us feel good. When we seek that, then our whole life feels good. Everything we do feels good. It doesn't matter, because time is irrelevant. You don't have to schedule time. Time fits in with love. Everything fits with love. The fabric of the universe, then, must be love. So we're attached to a higher place of being. What is that higher place of being? That place of being is that we are all connected. We all have inside of us not only cellular structure, but inside that cellular structure, a void we can't see, we call information and energy. And we build cyclotrons and other things to crack that atom so we can look deep inside the atom, from the electrons to the protons, the quarks, and then we go down to the smaller boson level. And we have people trying to find Higgs boson, the physicist, the quantum physicist. What he calls the zero spin nothing. It changes whenever you look at it under every different kind of microscope. They call it the God part. That's pushing it a little bit, but what it says is that inside each of one of us is a feeling, thinking being, not connected to the words and the thoughts in your mind, but connected to the cosmic world. Maybe, just maybe, love is the thing that keeps the sun and the planets in line. Oh, we could call it centrifugal, we can do math to prove it, but maybe it's so simple and it's strictly love, because what makes you feel good is love, the energy of love. What makes an actor, what makes a person who develops a business plan beautiful? It's just, I care about that. The passion in there means it's successful already. It doesn't need to go anywhere. What drove that passion? That connection to a higher process, a higher being, a higher place of thinking, withholding. And love is the fabric of the universe because it makes you feel better. Whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, a laborer, doesn't matter where you are. If you're filled with love, your life is always joyful. And you know when you're not in love because you feel bad. So everything about you feels bad. I just feel bad. I feel bad. Why couldn't you feel bad? We're tapped into a computer program that is beyond Earth. So we do feel bad. What happens when we feel bad is what choices do we make when we feel bad. I'll give you an example of a choice that the Earl of Gloucester made to King Lear. These late eclipses of the sun and the moon pretend no good to us. Though the wisdom of nature reasons them thus and thus, yet nature finds herself scourged by their sequined effects. Love cools, friendships fall off, and brothers divide. In cities mutiny, in countries discord, in palaces treason, and the bond is cracked with son and father. This villain of my son comes under this prediction. There's son against father. The king falls from his bias to nature. There's father against child. We have seen the best of our times. Machinations, cowardice, treachery, and all the ruinous discord follows us disquietly to our graves. That was written in 1605. Has much changed? Yes, much has changed. I'll tell you what's changed. We've begun to change our way of looking at that. That we're beginning to see that war doesn't work, but peace does. Not peace with a caveat. I'll do peace if, but true peace, which is where we're heading. We're heading past ego into eco. We're going from the love of power to the power of love.